Hello YouTube, today we're going to be playing Blue-Red Delver. List is, let's take a look right over here. One Desert Lighthouse, bunch of fetches, blue-red lands, two young Pyromancers. Pyromancer's really strong in this deck, likewise so is Snapcaster Mage. We got Electrolyze for our X1s and token decks. Blood Moon is kind of like our I win button for 50% of the decks that we play against. We got a Piankir Nalar. Surprisingly, Piankir Nalar is honestly really strong. Kind of just like a grindy powerhouse. I mean, it gives us like 3 chump blockers against like Death Shadows decks. It gives us reach because the Thoppers can fly. And of course, the turn after you play Piankir Nalar, you can sacrifice one of the Thoppers to deal 2 damage to something. We got Mana Leaks, we got Remands, we got 2 Ops, we got Delvers. Delver's a powerhouse in this deck if you can flip Delver. If you cannot, and it does happen sometimes that you just don't flip Delver, it's really bad. We got a Spell Snare, we got 2 Vapor Snags, and of course we have 4 Serum Visions. Serum Visions is really good synergy with Delver because, you know, you can drop Delver and the next turn you can Serum Visions and flip Delver. So looking at this hand, it's good against a control-y deck, not good against, say, an aggro deck. We're going to keep it, though, because we have the Serum Visions cantrip, and because they mulligan to 6, that's great. And, of course, we have all the mana we need. We don't actually run cryptic commands in the main or the side. We probably should, it's just I'm not really sure what to cut for cryptics. The list feels really tighter than it really should be. Okay, so what we want is to have a threat in the early game. So Nibble Obstructionist is that threat, and it also has like some utility to counter activated abilities. Vapor Snag, probably not something we want right now because we don't really know what our opponent's on. So let's just say we'll take the threat and leave it at that. And of course, next turn we can hold up a Logic Knot for 1 essentially. Oh, Polluted Delta. Breeding Pool. Okay. Looks like a Coco deck. Oh, Merfolk. Okay. Interesting. Well, in that case, we're going to try and Logic Knot our opponent's next play. And hopefully drop Nibble Obstructionist next turn and start swinging in. We really want to get a clock going on our opponent. Because the whole point of this deck is it's basically just a really strong tempo deck where we have 1 threat, and we protect that threat the entire game. So that's either it's Delver, it's Snapcaster, or it's Obstructionist, or it's Pyromancer. Where we drop it, we protect it, we kill with it. In this deck, our opponent's deck probably doesn't have that much interaction because they are just a blue-green Merfolk deck. Ooh, okay, so they have a Merfolk Lord. Yeah, let's just kill that. It does feel bad throwing away our Serum Visions. But you gotta do what you gotta do. Yep. So next turn we're gonna hold up Electrolyze or Nibble Obstructionist. If we have the choice, if they drop like another Lord, for example, we're just gonna Electrolyze a Lord. But if they do nothing, or it's just something that's like kind of negligible to the board state, then we'll just drop Nibble Obstructionist. Alright, you swing. So this deck is a lot of fun just because it has so many different options on how it can play the game. Oh, just a Mutavault? Explorers? Now the question is, do I want to, in response to it exploring, Electrolyze it and then deal 1 to face? Well, let's let it resolve, first of all. And the question is, do I waste the Electrolyze now? Because this can potentially become a 3-2. And they only have 1 mana open. I'm actually just going to Electrolyze. Yeah, I'll just do it like that. Because Electrolyze will help me draw into more threats. or into, say, a bolt or another electrolyze. So I'm happy doing this. Okay. We can hold up Snapcaster or Logic Knot, and that's fine. We can also hold up Obstructionist Opt. So we have a lot of options right now on how we can play. But we also might want to hold up Snap Electrolyze next turn. So the hope is that we can just drop Obstructionist and start swinging in. And we can even hold up Snapcaster. Oh, okay. Well, Snapcaster Electrolyze does the same thing as Snap Logic Knot, except we can do this a turn earlier, and they don't really get the extra 1 damage. Do I want to opt Obstructionist? Maybe I just opt and see what I get. If I get a counter spell, okay, a bolt. I'll take that bolt. I'll let this resolve because I can drop Obstructionist now and start swinging in. And because it's literally just means a damage. Like 2/2 or 3/3. That's all that it matters. So this is good. 2 Mutavaults. Oh, you can just, okay, play Mutavault. Okay, so it meant like 2 extra damage to us. We could also Snap Electrolyze. I think we'd rather we'd rather Bolt, and then we can even hold up Snap Bolt. And that way we can play the Steam Vents tapped, because we don't want to take the 2 damage, even though that means we won't be able to Serum Visions next turn. My turn. Ooh, a Flooded Strand. Okay, that helps a lot. I'm just going to fetch an island early. Let's just Serum Visions here. We don't need the Delver anymore because we don't need Delver because we have Obstructionist, and we definitely would like to have Electrolyze on top. We're just going to swing in here. Now, in the off chance our opponent has a Coco or some sort of counter spell, we're going to want to Bolt now rather than next turn. And then we're just going to hold up Snap Bolt, see what happens. If I get the chance to, I'm actually going to try and Snap Bolt one of my opponent's threats, but also block Kumena's Speaker with Snapcaster or a Mutavault. If we get the chance to do so, because we're at 9 life. We really don't want to go any lower. And Snapcaster would just become a 2-for-1 in that case, which is really strong. To just kill 2 of their creatures for 1 card. And because I don't think they have a way to deal with Obstructionist game 1. Or if they do, it's like clunky ways, like they play a card that taps it until it doesn't untap in my next untap step, stuff like that. Probably like the 2-mana 2/2 that bounces something. Okay, so they're probably going to swing with the Mutavault as well. No. Alright. Oh yeah, okay. They're just doing it at the beginning of combat. I want to block the Speaker. Well, actually, no, yeah, I just have to do this. Bolt. Bolt Lord of Atlantis. And if I don't trade, I can swing back for 5. But then we're getting dangerously close to just dying. If I can swing my opponent back for 5 and they're down to 8. I have Electrolyzer down to 6. I hold up a Remand as well. I think that's, I can just trade. Like, we'll just play it safe. Just gonna hold up, leave Steam Vents. Gonna swing for 3. Hold up Remand. Because they only have 2 blue sources. So I can just Remand their next play. And they just skip their turn. Maybe they swing with Mutavault and that's it. Adept. Oh, huh. Oh wow, this is really nice. I can when they play their second Silvergill Adept, I can electrolyze both of the Adepts. Oh boy. What a good play. A third Adept? Alright. This way I avoid them playing a land in the Spell Pierce or something like that. If I do this electrolyze in response to the Adept entering the battlefield. We got a Serum Visions, cool. So they might just play a land right now. Nope, okay. Ooh, now this is a really good draw. Pyromancer is probably one of the best cards in the deck. Okay, so we don't really need the Blood Moon at this point of the game. We just want to kill our opponent as soon as possible. So we have a Bolt on top. We're swinging it in. What we can do is essentially just remand their next spell and then bolt them. We can remand their next spell and then bolt whatever they play. And that would leave us with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 exactly. 8 actually. 8 damage, 8 power on board. We're just gonna want to remand that. Yep. Draw a bolt. Yep, Adept comes in. In response to them drawing a card, we're going to want to bolt. Again, this is to avoid Spell Pierce. If they draw land. Alright. Next game, sideboarding. So we want to Braids. They have some X1s, but they don't stay X1s for very long, so Staticaster is a maybe. Dispel seems okay because they probably have counter spells. They might have Coco as well. Flash Freeze counters Coco, and that's essentially it, so I don't want to risk using it when I don't really need it. I think the 3 guarantees are going to be the Abrades and the Dispels. We want to get rid of the Blood Moons because, well, they don't know that we have Blood Moons. But they're just a 2-color deck, so generally Blood Moon's good against 3 or 4 color decks. Against a 2-color deck, it's not really worth it, because they might just get basics. So if at least the 3 Blood Moons come out, and that means these 3 cards come in. So all we care about is the Staticaster right now. I like Sideboarding G2 a lot, so I think we do want to bring it in. The question is, we want to keep in Spell Snare. Vapor Snag is kind of a good combat trick. We can also do stuff like Vapor Snag or Snapcaster, stuff like that. Piankier Nalar is good. Bedlam Reveler is good. Bedlam Reveler is basically just like a not busted Ancestral Recall staple to a creature. Remand might be okay to get rid of one of. They don't really go that high up in mana. It could be a Remand or it could be a Serum Visions, because Serum Visions is pretty slow when they're an aggro deck, and we don't really want to be spending our time cantripping turn 1 when we can instead like bolt one of their creatures turn 1. They're an aggro deck as well, so their creatures are kind of cheap, but they're all like basically 2 mana or more, so Remand isn't that bad. I think it's just between Serum Visions and Remand. I like Obstructionist because it's a clock. It has some utility, like countering Mutavault triggers, stuff like that. I think it's got to be the Serum Visions because we're going second for the Staticaster. Alright, this is good. We can drop Canal turn 1, hold up Bolt on their turn and see what happens. Oh, they mulliganed again. That's good, because it means our Bolt's worth more now. They're just down a card. Oh, so this is why we get a Braid. We got a second Bolt. We probably have this game, honestly, in the bag, because they mulliganed. And we have the Abrade for the Aether Vial, and we have 2 Bolts. Another Aether Vial. Okay, well, I guess that... Okay. So we're actually going to Abrade on their upkeep. I mean, I don't know, actually. The problem is this... the second Aether Vial really invalidates the purpose of a Braid. They only have 3 cards in hand. It might be worth it to actually just Bolt or a Braid their threats and let them keep the Aether Vial. And if any of their threats are X1s, then we can kill them with snapcaster. Okay, so Kumena Speaker. We'll just let it happen. We're probably going to Bolt the Speaker if they play a creature this turn. A Sanctum. See, they only have like 2 threats in addition to the Speaker. And that's why, like, okay. Now because they could flash in a Lord. Do I actually just want to Remand this and kind of just waste my opponent's turn? If they have a 2-mana Lord, then Remand sounds really bad. But if they don't, then Remand is good. It lets us see more cards, and we might be able to fix our mana some more. I'm going to fetch Shock for a Steam Vent. Yeah, this is probably going to be one of the few times we can actually just get to Remand something. So this is worth it. Like, we don't care about how much damage we're taking. We want to hit our land drops. We don't want to miss any land drops against our opponent here. Okay. Let's see what they play. If it's a Silvergill Adept, I'm going to... Okay, so Branchwalker. In response to it exploring, I'm just going to kill it with Staticaster. I want to get as much value as I can out of my cards and 2 for 1 my opponent, even at the cost of my own life, because they don't run burn spells. So they have a limited number of creatures they can play, and as long as I don't die and I'm able to remove all of their creatures, I should be good. So they have a Marrow Rejuray, which they can flash me with Aether Vial, and that's all as far as I know. Is it Staticaster also helps a lot because if they have 2 Lords, like the Mirror Rejuray and then our 2-drop Lord, their Merfolk are, like, Kumena Speaker's gonna be a 4/4, Miro would be a 3/3, the other Lord would be a 3/3 as well. Oh, and okay, yeah. So we take 4, that's fine. So is it Staticaster lets us like kill X4s basically? Now this is interesting. I think we just go a Braid and a Bolt. And then we can block Kumena Speaker next turn. I could Electrolyze, hope to draw land. But I'd rather just play it safe because we're very advantaged right now. We have the card advantage. Our opponent's just top decking right now, and if they're just top decking, we're definitely going to win the game. Electrolyze and Is It Tatacaster are pretty fun together as well. So we can do something like Electrolyze Speaker and their face, and then Is It Tatacaster to finish it off. I'm not going to block in case they got a Lord, so I'll take the 2. Again, I don't care about my life at this point. Steam Vents, we're just going to play it safe, play it tapped. Now, let's see. Okay, so our opponent did nothing on end step. So because they don't really have any haste creatures, we're just gonna play it safe and we're gonna electrolyze. Oop. Actually, we're just gonna electrolyze for 2. We don't care about that 1 damage, and if they do have the Lord and they were like being smart about it, trying to play around electrolyze or something, we'd rather just play it safe. Again, we have all the advantage in the world. We have Vapor Snag, we have Snap, we have Bolt. So we have essentially 2 removal spells in hand. Opt can grab a removal spell. Vapor Snag is like half of a removal spell, sort of, kinda. Is It Tatacaster can kill other X1s that they play. So while we don't have a clock, we do have a very strong lead right now. We're going to opt here. We don't need a Remand because they have Aether Vials. Serum Visions is good, so we'll just play that. Again, we don't need a Remand. Now, here's a threat, so we do want the threat, and we're going to play the island. We want Obstructionist because that is going to become our clock to win this game. So we're holding up Snap Bolt. We also have Mana Leak if they have a Coco. We also just have Bolt, Mana Leak, Vapor Snag, Bolt, Vapor Snag, Mana Leak. We have a whole lot of options right now. Okay, so they have the 4 mana open. So we're just going to let this resolve. We're gonna, because we want the clock, we're gonna Bolt with Snapcaster. Now the hope is that they don't have Kira Great Glass Spinner, because that would just be a pretty strong blowout. But then we could just, in response to Kira coming in, we could probably just like drop like Staticaster or the Kumana Speaker. Alright, so now we have a clock. They have a 1 creature possibly in hand. So we're just going to swing Snapcaster. If they drop a creature, we're just going to Bolt it. Alright, that's good. We're definitely going to drop Obstructionist on the end step. They played a Mutavault. That's actually pretty good. It's just a threat, and I have to interact with it at instant speed, which is a little bit annoying. We still have Mana Leak up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, so they're 1 mana off of being able to pay for Mana Leak if they Coco. So they don't want to block with the Mutavault. They know as well as I do that they need to kill me as soon as possible before I kill them. So they're holding back the Mutavault to try and swing in. If they can get a Lord or 2 in their next couple of draws, assuming that I can't deal with those Lords, which I can, but my opponent obviously doesn't know that right now. That's like their only out, is to try and just kill me as soon as possible. So Branchwalker enters, and then in response to its exploring, I'm going to kill it with Staticaster. So they're going to play a Lord. So we're gonna bolt that Lord. Do I want to bolt it, or do I want to... Yeah, no, there's no reason not to bolt it. I could Vapor Snag it to mess around, but I don't really see much of a reason to do so. So let's try and counter our damage right now, because what we can do is Vapor Snag, Snapcaster, Snap Bolt. So they'd go down to 8, and then I'd swing for 5. So they'd be down to 3. I'd be at 8, 6, because they're probably going to attack with the Mutavault. Yeah. Did they play a land this turn? No. It appears they did not play a land. So I don't want to Vapor Snag the Mutavault now. I could just... Okay, because I could Snap Bolt the Mutavault. But I kind of want to save Snap Bolt for something more dangerous. And because is a static caster, you can just keep blocking it. Or I want to Snap Bolt for the win. I think because I want to play Bedlam Reveler, because these mana leaks are worthless. Like, I don't care about these mana leaks at this point. So I want to discard them. So I'm okay with playing Bedlam Reveler next turn. So I'm actually just gonna I'm gonna play it safe. Snap Bolt the Mutavault. Snap Bolt Mutavault, swinging for 5 next turn, and also drop Bedlam Reveler. My other option was like Desolate Lighthouse, essentially. Okay, so because we have the mana to spare, we're just going to destroy one of the Aether Vials. Draw 3. Again, like, technically we're down some cards, but not really. Lodgenaut's okay because it's a hard counter. We're just going to swing for 5. Now our opponent has to draw some sort of threat. It's got to be a good threat. I don't know what they can really draw to get out of this right now at this point. Okay, well, good games. All right, that was game 1. We went 2-0 with Blue-Red Delver. That's pretty much like where the deck is at its best, is when you're just playing against a creature deck that doesn't really disrupt you. So humans is really annoying to play against because they have Cavern of Souls, so you can't counter their stuff. They have Kite Self Rebooter, so they take away your removal spells. And they're a really aggressive, quick deck. This deck that we played against Merfolk was kind of slow for an aggro deck. This is definitely a keep. We have 2 threats with Delver. We can hold up Mana Leak turn 2 if we want to, or we can just play our second Delver if they remove our first. Hopefully we draw a blue source next turn, actually, so we can do something like drop Delver and Serum Visions at the same turn. So if this doesn't flip, then we can Delver Serum Visions to make sure they both flip next turn. And that's really helpful because this looks like Death and Taxes. Scalding Tarn. Okay, so blue source. That's great. So we're just going to get an island because this looks like an aggro deck we're up against. So we do want to save our life total as much as possible. We're going to Serum Visions. Okay, so we're going to put Obstructionist on. We do like Obstructionist, do we? Because we have Electrolyze, we have 2 Delvers, and they're about to flip. So we kind of don't need the 3rd threat. So we're going to bottom Obstructionist, top Bolt. And that means next turn these are going to be 3 2s. We're probably going to win this just because we have the Bolt, we have the Electrolyze to deal with their stuff. We have the Mana Leak just in case. And we even have double Bolt. Oh, so what the heck is this? Alright, well, we're just going to swing and see what happens. On our opponent's end step, we're probably just going to Electrolyze them if there isn't something to hit with Electrolyze. I hope they don't play something like a Thalia. Thalia is just really annoying. I mean, this is blue-white. It feels like it's like blue-white control, but there's an Aether Vial. Oh, it might be, I don't really know. But I'm just gonna, well, I might just want to protect the Delvers. So we're just gonna let it end, go to our turn. Yeah, there's no point in tapping out. Now next turn we are gonna electrolyze them because then we can untap Bolt Bolt. So they're gonna play a creature. Let's see, it's probably Athalia. Selfless Spirit. Okay. Oh, it's just blue white spirits. Okay. So they might have a Spell Queller. We're gonna. So they probably have Spell Queller. They can both flash in Spell Queller and play Spell Queller. So this is actually a pretty bad matchup for us. Just because they have flyers, a lot of them, like all of their cards are flyers. Okay, so flash and Spell Queller most likely. Yeah, all right. We're just gonna swing for 6 and see what happens. Because we have Bolt Bolt in hand. Yeah, if they double block, we're happy. Alright, we're just gonna electrolyze their face. See what we get. We have we're gonna play the Steam Bench. Let's do Serum Visions. Snapcaster, that helps a lot. We don't really need Bedlam Reveler at this point in the game. So we're gonna bolt, and then if they have a response, we're just gonna mana leak it. So they have to have a I don't know, Dispel or something. Okay, so that gets mana leaked. We're gonna bolt them first. They need Dispel or Spell Pierce, which they probably don't have in the main board game 1. Alright, so we won this game, but this is going to be close. We want Staticaster, we want Abrades because they're removal. We don't need Relic, we don't need Dragon's Claw, we don't need Counterflux, we don't need Flash Freeze, we don't need Recall. Echoing Truth is interesting, but we want like 1-for-1 trades. We want Dispel. They don't really run any colorless spells besides Aether Vial, so these are the 4 cards we want. We don't want Blood Moon because they are just a 2-color deck, and because they have Aether Vials. So we just need to get rid of 1 more card. We like Electrolyze because they do have some X1s. Mausoleum Wanderer, Selfless Spirit. Vapor Snag is good. Spell Snare. What do they have that are 2-drops? Like, Spell Snare is probably one of the worst cards in the deck. So let's just move Spell Snare aside and think more about it. Remand isn't that good, again, because they have Aether Vials. Blue-White Spirits. Remand, Spell Snare. Those are probably the 2. Yeah. Probably this. Probably the Spell Snare, because we don't really care about their 2-drops. We care about their 3-drops. Now this is interesting. Since we're going second, we want to keep this because it's unelectrolyzed and because Serum Vision sets us up for the future turns. But this isn't that good of a hand. Because PM Kiran Alar is effectively uncastable unless my opponent taps out. Oh, this isn't good. Yeah, they're getting a good start so far. But if we can draw into bolts, then we should be fine. We don't need Logic Knot because they have Aether Vial. We do like Young Pyromancer. What we're probably going to do is Serum Visions again next turn. No, we're actually going to drop Young Pyromancer. Young Pyromancer is probably not that amazing of a threat, though, because most of their creatures are flyers. Oh, this is annoying. We're just going to play the Pyromancer. Oh, whoops. Tap for red. I mean, since they got the Thalia turn 2 like this, we're probably, and I don't want to be like pessimistic, but we're probably going to lose this. But next round, we're going to be pretty well off. I'm not going to block. If they have Path, I'm okay with that. Serum Visions for 2. If they might even just, they might even Spell Queller that, and that's actually pretty strong. Yeah, that's smart. They can, they know I'm like, I need lands. Oh, go ahead. I'll just take it. What I want to do is have enough tokens to block Thalia. I want 3 tokens. Oh, this is just super bad. And I don't even want to attack because they have a 3-drop. I just gotta pass. I could, at best, like flash in Snapcaster. That'd mean trading in Snapcaster, Token, and Pyromancer just to kill the Thalia. And that would just leave the token alive. This is really annoying. We're probably gonna lose this. And they're most likely holding up another Spell Queller as well. Okay, so a land is good. Wow, this is still pretty bad. I can Remand, Mana Leak. I can't even Electrolyze. So I still can't do anything. Maybe they play a spell on end step and I can Remand it. That'd be fine. Mind Sensor, that's not gonna, nope, that's not happening. Get Mana Leaked. They might even have the Spell Queller though. Yeah, looks like it. Okay, Spell Queller. That's really bad. I think that's, because if we draw Fetch, we're screwed for our next land. We really do want to hit our next land drop as well. Because we can Electrolyze the Mind Sensor and the Thalia. But they have like these 2 flyers, which I just cannot deal with right now. I don't have the bolts. They have 3 flyers. It's 6 damage. So I have to block Thalia, first of all. At this point, I'm kind of just forced to triple block and leave a token alive. If they don't like flash in a Lord, then I'm happy. But I'm probably just boned, honestly. Yeah, it's probably their win. Okay, so Island. We can Electrolyze. They probably just Spell Queller again. Okay, well, good game. Next game, let's see. Is there anything we want to change? Not really. Spell Snare counters Thalia, but they can just flash in Thalia, so I think we're just good. Yeah, this is fine. We'll run it back. So our optimal opening hand is Delver, Serum, Bolt, Snapcaster, 3 lands or something like that. Yep. This is really bad because if we don't get our second land, we're screwed. But because we have this is really risky. This is, I think, a little bit too risky. And Mana Leak and Remand are really weak cards. We do have the Snap Bolt and we have the Pyromancer threat, but we only have 1 chance to draw a second land. So I need to play it a bit safer. So this is not necessarily a better hand, but a different one. And at least we have our lands. We hit our land drops. If I leave Opt on top, then I can flip Delver. So Opt it is. So they got the Aether Vial. We will reveal the Opt. So now our goal is to protect our Delver. So we don't really need Mana Leak. We do want Island. We're going to swing because we want to hit our land drops. They might just drop Thalia. Another Aether Vial. Okay, so the second vial is not as good as the first. This is fine. And I don't think that our 1-drops can kill in, Delver. We'll put this on top. Okay, we're going to swing. We'll just remand that. It sucks that they have the answer to our Delver, so next turn it's going to die. But, you know, it is what it is. I guess I wish I'd kept the Mana Leak in that case. That would have been one reason to have that Mana Leak, actually. They're going to have, what, Selfless Spirit? Thalia? Probably Thalia. Oh, Meddling Mage. Okay, it's going to be Bolt. Yep. Luckily, we have Electrolyze. Selfless Spirit. That's annoying. Can't kill the Meddling Mage. That means I think I'll just... We'll do it like that. So if they trade their Selfless Spirit, then yep, that's fine. This means I can attack with Insectile Aberration for one more turn. So I get one more turn without them being able to path my Actually, I think that was a mistake. I could have just like pinged this Spirit and then hit them for 1. That would have been the same result, but they'd be at 10. Alright, so probably just gonna get an island. Thalia, that's annoying. It's really annoying. I think at this stage of the game, yep. This is pretty bad, actually. They probably have Restoration Angel. Well, I have to take it. Hopefully I can flip Delver. Nope. This is really bad. They have Restoration Angel probably for the Spell Queller. They have another Spell Queller maybe. The only thing I can really kill that I guess I have to just kill Thalia. I gotta just draw and see what I get. They're probably gonna Spell Queller this. I actually just have to kill the meddling mage, don't I? Yeah, so the meddling mage, that way if I top deck bolt, I can bolt the spell caller. So they're probably going to spell caller this. But I don't really have any other outs. Reflector mage spell caller is also a possibility. Not reflector, they're going to... Restoration Angel, yeah, so they're going to bring back... Or they could even flash the meddling mage. That's annoying. That's probably just the win. So let's give it to them. Good games. Let's go to our next one. I don't really think there was much we could have done that game. They kind of just had like a lot of the cards that were good against us. Also, their deck is just really good against us because they have more creatures than we have burn spells. And it's kind of hard to deal with Aether Vial because they essentially have uncounterable creatures coming in the battlefield whenever they want. And we did have to mulligan that in that third game. If we'd been able to keep that and we had top decked like 2 lands in a row, that would have been a good keep. But you never keep based on what you think you could draw. Unless like the odds are high, you could draw what you need. So, for example, like having a scry and also a draw to fight a land, and you have 1 land in hand, means there's essentially like 3 turns you can draw. Or 2 if you're going second. This is okay. We're gonna hold up. We're gonna leave up Tarn. It's just like a weird threat dense hand. Bedlam Reveler is basically a dead card, but we have the mana, and I can like use Tarn and get probably just an island actually. Okay, so they have the Adept. So the question is, do I bolt that on my turn or on their turn? Or do I just play Young Pyromancer? Probably just bolt it because they are an aggro deck. This means Blood Moon's a bad card now because they're not mono red, but sometimes they're mono red, sometimes not. We'll hold up. We'll leave up Tarn. We're gonna bolt their Flameblade Adept. Hopefully what we can do is just play Pyromancer next turn, and then we can play Pyromancer next turn and bolt their next play and get a 1/1. Yep, swing. Swing, bada, swing. Another one. Okay. This is not good. I wish I could hold the mana leak, but I mean they have all these threats already, so we're just gonna hold up the bolt. I'm not gonna block. Well, for one of these guys, both have Menace, but I'm not going to block. Because... Ooh, Fatal Push. That's not good. I wouldn't try and double block with, say, a token in Young Pyromancer, precisely because they could have a removal spell. I don't really think they should have... well, I don't think they should have pushed that in their main phase like that. They could have tried to bait me into blocking with Pyromancer instead. But it's probably okay for them. Hopefully I can draw into a snapcaster sometime soon. Or a land. If I hit a land drop, I can play Pinkir Nalaar. Can't block, so I'll just take it. Okay, we're just gonna play. We're gonna get an island. So Hollow One is really bad for us. Reveler's a 6-drop. Okay. The question is, do I just take the damage here, and that way I can block Hollow One, and also ping it with a Thopter, rather than just wasting a chump block. Ooh, looting. That's not good. I can also ping the Flameblade Adept. I don't know if I want to take 8 damage. If they play a land, they also get Prized Amalgam or Bloodghast. This is really bad. If I block with everything, they leave the Elemental alive. Or a Thopter. If I could block with I'm gonna take the 4. I kind of just need to. This is gonna be really bad though. Oh, okay. Still can't play Bedlam Reveler. Yep, that's not good. Let's just mana leak that, just because we can. So if our opponent wants to, yeah, okay. They probably have another play. Well, that's the other play. All right, let's see what we get. That's not good. Okay, so discarded a Lighthouse, a Vapor Snag, a Bedlam Reveler. That really sucks, because I wish I could have been able to play Reveler. Spiral of Canal is a really dead card, and now I can't even loot it away with Desert Lighthouse. That was a pretty good Burning Inquiry for them. Okay, how am I going to block? Alright, I could do... They're gonna get Prized Amalgam next turn. This is just bad. They have a really huge advantage right now, especially because I don't even have Bedlam Reveler. So my biggest threat is Snapcaster or Delver or Nimble Obstructionist, and none of those are gonna help me here. I think I could just chump Bloodghast with a Thopter, and then use the Thopter or sacrifice it to kill Flameblade Adept. But why wouldn't I just... No, wait, I would just chump Hollow One. I trade with the Elemental here. Yeah, we'll do it like this. Okay, so they have a 7/7 in power right now. It's really strong. They have another Faithless Looting, so they can probably draw into a land. Oh, well, Spiral of Canal's a dead card. How many Bloodghast? 1 Bloodghast? Bring them down to 13 probably doesn't matter. Oh, this is really bad. I guess I can kill the Hollow One. I think they win this because they have way more resources at their disposal than I do. Another Amalgam. All right, let's just end this now. Okay, so Relic of Progenitus is good. Dragon's Claw seems good. Static Caster only kills Bloodghasts. I don't like that too much. A braid is removal, I guess. The only colorless spells they run is Hollow One. Recall isn't that good. A braid hits Hollow One and it's removal. So these are the 5. I think maybe is a 6. We don't want Blood Moon because they're a 2-color deck. Electrolytes is a little too slow, but it's okay. Remand is actually okay. Their cards are pretty cheap though, so we can just shave a Remand probably. Spell Snare is kind of just dead in general. So that's our 5. So one more for Staticaster. Probably shave another Remand. Can do Vapor Snag. Vapor Snag isn't that good, so we'll just do Staticaster. Dispel probably as well is good. No, Vapor Snag is good. It protects our Pyromancer and Snapcasters from their removal spells. So we like Vapor Snag. We like Dispel because they're probably bringing in bolts, stuff like that. They actually, I think, already have bolts in the main. So 1 Dispel is fine for their 4 bolts. In that case, we don't want Remands. We can just shave some Remands. This is keep. I have to keep this because I don't want to go down to 6, and I have 2 removal spells, even though they're pretty expensive. But I have 2 Serum Visions, not just 1, but 2. I'm kind of forced to Steam Vents here because I don't know what I'm going to draw, what kind of land. We don't want either of these right now. We really want to get a land ASAP, so we're digging as deep as we can. Burning Inquiry, that helps. Thank you. That really sucks. Oh my god. Really? This is... Oh. Wow. Actually, I should have played the Steam Vents tapped. I can't believe that happened. This deck is insane. I mean, wow. Out of essentially 10 cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, the 2 Abrades got discarded. Why? Why would you do this? So I can snap a braid. Okay. Looks like they don't even have a land. Wow. So they kept a pretty light hand. I really should have just done Steam Vents tapped. Okay, so Vapor Snag is really nice. So that means I'm just going to Vapor Snag with their Hollow One. All they need is a land, though. They're most likely just searching for a land. So I'd be really annoyed if they Burning Inquiry right now. Yep, a Bloodghast. That's not good. I hope to draw Relic sometime soon, actually. This is very bad though. I mean, our opponent has a lot of good stuff going on right now. I kind of just want to Snap Bolt the Bloodghast, or I could even Snap Bolt my opponent. Actually, no. I could snap Vapor Snag the Bloodghast because they don't have the mana to cast it, and they have to discard it. So that looks like our best option here is snap Vapor Snag. I'm doing this because I really care about my life total. I would try and do this at the end of turn if I could. That way I could like hold up Remand against them. But at this point in the game, at 13 life, knowing that they probably have bolts, that they probably, and they don't really have anything going on right now, I just kind of have to hope against hope. They just can't do much right now. They kind of just, hopefully they just pass this turn. Okay, Faithless Looting. Well, that's not good. They're going to get to replay that Bloodghast. And get a prized Amalgam. Okay. Yep. This sucks. This is the worst. This deck is really, really hard to play against right now. Oh my gosh. Okay, snap a braid. Yep. They probably just win, honestly. I was hoping I could double block the hollow one. I'm just going to trade into Bloodghast, hope they have a land. I just need to worry about damage right now. If they have a land, they have a land. Okay. I'm just gonna crack Tarn to try and draw some gas, deck thinning, I guess. And the life is really negligible. Alright, we're gonna play Canal. We're actually forced here to... We'll have to see if there's something for us to Remand. But we might just end up having to snap bolt and then remanding. Yeah, I don't see how we can really get out of this actually. So we'll just go on to the next game. Good games. So yeah, if you're playing against a deck that can do unfair stuff essentially, then you know Blue Red Delver is not that good. I might have a video with Kiki Moon sometime soon because like Blue Delver doesn't have an I win button. It's about trying to land a threat early in the game, except unlike Grixis Death Shadow, which has Death Shadows, Snaps, Tassiger, and Gurmag, all you have in Grixis in Delver is Delvers and Snaps. And Nimble of Sharpness and what P and Kieran are. You have a lot less like threats that win you the game. And Delver doesn't win you the game in like 2 turns like Death Shadow does. Delver wins the game in 5 or 6 turns, and you're kind of just like stopping your opponent and like holding them back from killing your Delver. It's a tempo deck, but it's not as good as a tempo deck as Grixis Death Shadow is. So it might just be that I might end up trying to play Grixis Death Shadow sometime soon. I might buy that deck because I really do like the concept of a deck that lands a threat and counters your stuff and wins with that threat. And Death Shadow at least has a much better clock while doing it and a lot more options, better sideboarding, so on and so forth. But Kiki Moon is really interesting because like against an unfair deck like that, you can beat it because you have an I win button with Kiki Moon. So Pestermite, and next turn Kiki. Kiki Jiki. So that's something I have that deck built. I can show it in a later video. It's a lot of fun. I personally prefer Blue Red Delver, and I'm a little bit better at playing Blue Red Delver. I win more playing this. Okay, so we're not. Yeah, we're just gonna play Steam Vents tapped, most likely. Hopefully, it's a deck that Blood Moon's actually good against. To be quite honest, though, like Blood Moon is not as good in the meta right now as it has been in the past. Oh, this isn't good. Could be Storm, could be Mirror. Probably not the Mirror. Could be a Blue Moon deck. So Blood Moon's bad now. The 2 islands are really good. I might even be able to bait my opponent into playing Blood Moon. I should have actually played the Serum Visions. That was my mistake. That was a misplay. Opt. Okay, so it's Storm. Oh, okay, I'm glad I didn't play the Visions. Bolt's good. Do we want the Serum Visions? No, we want the Mana Leak. We want Mana Leak to counter like a Gifts Ungiven or something like that. Bolt's good. A Mountain. Can you go off? No? Mana Leak is good. And now we are going to bolt your Baral. And you know we have Mana Leak. So you do not want to remand it. Okay, well. We'll just Mana Leak a Remand. We're now going to swing for 3. So actually Blood Moon is good here because they will have no blue mana. So if they don't draw an island, then Blood Moon just wins the game because they'll just have 3 mountains. They might like Grape Shot the... Okay, so they're holding up Remand. I'm just going to swing, first of all. I'm actually going to... I'm not going to do anything unless my opponent does something. I don't want to waste... I don't want to use his Blood Moon and let it get remanded. So if they don't do anything, I'm going to Electrolyze them on end step. If they do like Ritual into Gifts Ungiven, I'm going to remand the Gifts Ungiven. Noxious Revival. That resolves. That resolves, yeah, because I can remand their Baral and then bolt it if they play it again. And they might not even have another land. So let's just remand it. Now they have to have a land. If they don't, I'm going to get an island. Actually, no, I'm going to get a mountain. Yep, okay. GG. So they have to have an island now just to get out of this, and an island doesn't actually help that much. Yep. Oh, they have... Manamorphose could actually do something. So, Ritual, Manamorphose, play Baral, Grape Shot. Okay, so they're going to Grape Shot the Delver, and now I can Vapor Snag the Delver. So, let's just do that. So now they need Manamorphose. They need Ritual, Manamorphose, play Baral, and even then they just can't do much at that point. So, okay. So I actually prefer playing Young Pyromancer and not playing Delver at all, because Pyromancer is much more of a clock. If they have another Grape Shot, they have another Grape Shot, and that's fine. End step, probably just going to Electrolyze. Yep, okay. Electrolyze, draw a card, deal 2, get a token. Swing for 3. I can bolt and I can snap bolt just in case. So let's bolt them. Good game. All right. So that's actually pretty surprising. It's surprising that that was good in our favor. So we want Counterflux because Counterflux can beat Grape Shot or empty the warrens if you overload it. Relic of Progenitus turns off Past in Flames. I don't like Dragon's Claw that much because it doesn't gain us enough life to like beat Grape Shot. Because a lot of their spells that they cast are blue. Abrade is good removal. Dispel is good. That looks like it's going to be it. So they don't have fetches. Let me look up their list. So modern, blue-red storm, anything in this sideboard. So this is, okay, so they have like 2 islands in the entire deck. So they need to have their 2 islands. So Blood Moon is actually really good. Electrolyze is bad because it doesn't kill anything, but like it kills Empty the Warrens tokens, but at that point, like I probably lose if they get to Empty the Warrens. So Electrolyze is bad. Remand is okay. Mana Leak is okay. Spell Snare hits. Well, why did I exit? Okay, so Spell Snare hits all their rituals. It hits Remand. Yeah, we got to keep in Spell Snare. Vapor Snag isn't so good because it's not actually a card removal spell. So let's just say we get rid of Vapor Snags. Yeah, so Abrade replaces Vapor Snags effectively. Remand is probably one of our worst spells. Maybe being Kieran Alar isn't that good. No, because it's a clock in the late game. I think I'll just go Remand. It's actually pretty funny that the Fetchless Storm, which is supposed to have just an easier mana base, and you know the point is that you don't fetch away your scries and stuff, it's worse against this deck because they only have 2 islands in the entire main with which to avoid Blood Moon. To play around Blood Moon, that is. So otherwise, they're just playing with a bunch of mountains. So I think the risk is good enough that we keep Blood Moons. Because Blood Moons turn off effectively just the entirety of their mana base. Okay, so this is definitely a keep just because there's a Blood Moon. It's going to be bad if our opponent has an island, but that's fine. Sleight of hand. And they can dig for an island, and that's probably what they're going to try and do. So we're going to do Tarn. Another sleight of hand. They're looking for an island, yeah. Okay, so we're going to fetch for an island here. Well, if we fetch for an island, it tells our opponent that we have Blood Moon. So we got our opponent like think to themselves like, oh, you know, there isn't a Blood Moon around. So we're going to do Spire Bluff. We're going to play Pyromancer. This encourages our opponent to try and kill Pyromancer with Grape Shot rather than search for an island. Okay, so they have an island. So Blood Moon's not as good anymore, but it's still pretty good anyways. Because they'll only have 1 blue mana a turn. If they get the second island, it's really bad. So they might just go Grape Shot. That's probably a good idea. I would do Grape Shot if I were them. Kill the Pyromancer. Okay, a Rahl. This is getting bad. Manamorphose. You know, next game we're not gonna have Blood Moons because Manamorphose is a thing. We're just gonna hold up the Mana Leak. Because they're gonna be able to ritual, Manamorphose, blah blah blah, whatever. Empty the Warrens. I could play Nibble Obstructionist. I could cycle it to counter the Storm Trigger, and they only get 2 tokens. I could Mana Leak one of them. Do I care if they have 4 tokens? No, I don't actually, because I have Young Pyromancer. Yeah, no, this is fine. Hilariously, like, 4 tokens is something I can deal with. But I definitely could not deal with, 8 or 10 or 20 or whatever. So this is fine. He wouldn't want to attack with... I wouldn't attack if I were you. That's fine. I'll just take the 1. So Obstructionist is a clock. Okay, so Dispel is nice. Just gonna hold up the Blood Moon. Or not hold it up, but we'll play it. Hold up Dispel. Actually, I should have played the Scalding Tarn and fetched for an island. So we can take 5 this turn. And our opponent can still go off with Manamorphose, but that's what we have the Dispel for. So I will let my opponent, like, Ritual, Manamorphose, Dispel the Manamorphose. So if I see Manamorphose, I'm going to Dispel it, 100%. I can take the damage here. It is going to be really bad if our opponent has a Grape Shot now for both of our threats. Ritual. Dispel. I don't know why they have... they're probably going to have a Grape Shot go off now. Otherwise, they wouldn't have Ritualed. There was no point. So they're just going to Grape Shot. Okay, empty the Warrens. That's really bad. Yikes. I don't want Delver. Opt is another creature on the board, essentially. Not gonna attack. I need to block with everything I can. There's no way I'm gonna be able to cast enough spells in time. Okay, so Manamorphose is gonna get Mana Leaked. This is pretty bad. Our opponent probably has this game now because they got the second empty. So I want to block Rahl with Nimble Obstructionist, and then just block all the goblins. Oh, well, okay, that's the win. That is most likely the win. That's 14 goblins they're attacking with. Right, you should be attacking with all of them. Yeah, okay. That's 15 damage right there. 13, 12. Yeah, that's lethal no matter what. Okay. Snapcaster is good. Electrolyze is good. It looks like it. So what do we not want? We don't want Blood Moon because they can kind of just play around it with Manamorphose and everything. So we'll just bring these in, take out the Blood Moons. Blood Moons can be good, but they can also not be good. So that depends on how well our opponent, like how lucky our opponent is. We don't really want to play like a coin flip card like that, I think. A Braid is okay. Remand is not as good. Dispel's good. Spell Snare is okay. Relic is good. We could drop like an Electrolyze, because it doesn't do that much. Yeah, we can just get rid of an Electrolyze. Alright, so we have a clock, we have counter spell, we have a way to just flip Delver next turn if we really want to. We have removal, we have Snapcaster. This is a really nice hand. And this hand has a lot of options available. Okay, so our opponent mulligan, that's great. They topped. Okay, so they do have good cards available to them right now. I'm going to fetch Tarn before I cast Serum Visions. I'm going to hold up Spell Snare next turn. So I'll do fetch, get Steam Vents, hold up Spell Snare. I could fetch for an island. We'll see what we draw. Snapcaster, no. Okay, we're gonna fetch for a. We'll just get an island actually. Serum Visions. We want to get a land. Okay, so Bedlam Reveler is bad. Tarn is good. It's too bad we won't be able to flip Delver, though. Oh, what? I should have attacked. Whoops. I did not attack. My bad. That was a mistake. Hopefully our opponent casts Rahl or Electromancer, so we can just Spell Snare. If our opponent rituals, by the way, we're not gonna counter the first ritual, but we're gonna counter the second, because they might do ritual empty, which would probably win them the game. But if we could counter one of those rituals, they'd be wasting essentially 2 cards. So I could, instead of countering the first ritual I see, tapping them out, I counter the second one instead. Okay, so I'll just counter Rahl. Rather than bolt it. So I get a Scalding Tarn, so we're not going to reveal. I should have attacked earlier, so that was my mistake. I can snap Spell Snare, which is nice. Which means I can still counter a ritual if I really want to as well. Grape Shot. Just a single Grape Shot? That's actually just I'm just gonna counter that. I'm gonna do Steam Vents. Yeah, because I get a clock, more damage on the board with a Snapcaster. I keep Delver alive. Come on, flip. Spire Bluff. Nope. Okay, we will play the Spire Bluff. At least we can bolt and a Braid. I could bolt face, abrade any creatures they play, and then I can next turn snap bolt as well. I'm tempted to play the snapcaster now on their end step, but snap bolt actually does more damage, I believe. We're just gonna bolt. So our opponent really needs another land. They've missed 2 land drops now, which is really bad. Come on, flip, flip, flip. Island doesn't help at all. I could snap serum. Okay. That sucks. Yep, that happens. I'd rather just snap bolt. Snap bolt will leave them at 1. And if they ping themselves with Siobhan Reef, then they're dead. Because we'd have 4 damage on board. They would take 3, they'd be down to 5, then 4 with Siobhan Reef. That'd be lethal. Okay, so a Rahl. We're going to kill the Rahl. We're doing it at the beginning of combat because they might have just forgotten to drop a land. We don't want to go to their second main and they drop a land and then go off. We're not going to risk it. We're going to play it as safe as we can. Yep, we're just going to snap bolt. And they're down to 1. Which means they have 1 more turn to try and go off. And they have to get a land. Okay, so I can hold back snap a braid, or I can snap serum. I'm gonna hold back snap a braid if they play another creature. Plus they might just end up like grape shotting both of the snaps. Yeah, so they might just like grape shot so they don't die, and then I can just snap end step. Yep, that's what it looks like. So yeah, you get to kill both my snapcasters. You appear to live for a turn. If they don't play a land especially. Alright. I will snap back a braid, but I will not cast a braid. Go to my turn. Yeah, good games. Alright, so we're 2-2 right now. We want to try and get 3-2. Get that chest. So that's why we wanted to hold back the 3rd snap, was specifically because if they were able to grape shot or bolt or something like that, if they were able to remove our snapcasters, we wanted to be able to flash one in the end step. Our opponents had some bad luck over there. They just didn't draw what they needed. If they had a 3rd land, I think the game would have been a lot different, because they could have played like a Rahl and then started going off, and I'd have to bolt in response, but then they might be able to go off just with like the 1 mana saved from that Rahl, because they could play a bunch of rituals at instant speed. Okay, so this is a very keepable hand, because we have Delver, we have a cantrip, we have Island, and we have Scalding Charm. Wow. Did you just mold it? You just mold down to 4 cards. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be really bad, because going down to 4 cards against a tempo deck, obviously going down to 4 against any deck is bad, but I can handle each and every one of the... Yeah, they just know what we're playing now, so they might think we have Blood Moons, so I'm just going to take out the Blood Moons. I'll just bring in a Braids and Dispel because removal, and we'll leave it at that. Play it safe. It might have been like Dredge, because Dredge can comfortably mulligan pretty low. We can hold up Spell Snare. We can hold, this is bad, but we can scry into a land, so we'll keep it. Oh wait, no, we can't. We can draw into a land though. We have to mulligan to scry. Okay, so a forest, so that's good because we have bolt. We did bring in the Abrades, which is exciting. So we have Spell Snare to counter whatever they play. We have Bolt to kill whatever they play. And we have Tarn into Logic Knot or Mana Leak. Okay, so Ancient Stirring. So this is Tron. I'm sorry, what? Core Tapper? This isn't Tron. This is, what do you call that deck? Eggs. With, the Krark Clan Ironworks. That's the card. Okay, that's not good. Since they have a Core Tapper revealed, we're gonna hold back the Bolt, rather than, like, bolt their face. A Chalice. We can happily hold up Logic Knot, Mana Leak, even Remand. That's good. Remand actually really good because now we can cycle it essentially to try and draw into our third land for next turn. So if they play Core Tapper, we're gonna Remand it because we need to draw a card. Everflowing Chalice. We're gonna get. We started out the Blood Moons, which is very lucky for us. Okay, so we really want to Remand this. Core Tapper costs 2 mana, so they already played a land, so they can't do anything funny. No funny business. Hopefully we just draw a land. Really need to get a land. Come on. Alright, that's not good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, we're going to have to play the Delver. We want to tap the Spire Bluff. So they're going to play Chalice probably on 2. No? Okay. Can I even... I can't counter that. It's still a 0 drop. So the kicker doesn't matter. So they might just play Core Tapper. I really hope. Okay, so because I can bolt Core Tapper, I'm going to Spell Snare the Mind Stone. Anything I can do to disrupt them is a good thing right now. I'm actually okay with being on 2 mana here because I have Mana Leak. I have 2 Mana Leaks. I have Logic Knot. Electrolyze, I will flip. Yep. It does suck that I still don't have my third land. And my opponent has 4 and has Ramp. So at some point they're going to start playing 2 things a turn that I have to deal with. Which is going to be really bad. Ancient Stirrings, okay. And one of their cards is still a Core Tapper. Which I can bolt. Or even Electrolyze if I get my third land. Okay, Contagion Clasp. That's not good. Oh, that's really bad. Can't Logic on it. I can't Mana Leak it. This is, I believe, part of their combo though. Like this is a combo deck with Contagion Clasp, I believe. So this is really, really bad. So Core Tapper, I just want to Mana Leak. Just for mana efficiency, because Mana Leak's going to be really bad pretty soon. This is not good, though. Remand. So at this point, I'm going to have to burn my opponent out now. So I'm going to have to do some fun electrolyze stuff. This is really bad, though. I need to remand their next play, whatever it is, just to draw a card. Uh-oh, that's not good. So they're gaining a life every turn now. That's going to make it really hard to burn out our opponent. Okay, so they're going to Contagion Clasp the Aberration. So I'm just going to bolt them on end step. This is really bad. I'm just going to have to opt. Island on top is nice. Finally, we have our third land on turn 6. We've missed a lot of land drops, it appears. We're going to swing. They're going to kill it with Contagion Clasp. Yep. Proliferate any number of permanent and or players. That's interesting. So Everflowing Chalice gets another counter and Aberration dies. It's pretty smart. So they're going to be gaining a life every turn with Inventor's Fair. So what we really want to do is be able to play out Snapcaster. We're going to want to Snap Bolt our opponent. Okay, so we're going to remand whatever they play. Astral Cornucopia. Well, I can't mana leak it. Can I Logic Knot it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have 5 mana available right now. 5 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I remove a lot of cards, I kind of well, because at this point, them having this much mana doesn't really matter. Well, no, because they have Inventor's Fair, so they're going to search for. I think this is fine. I'm just going to remand it rather than Logic Knot. So what I want to do is Logic Knot their actual threat, whatever it is they're going to win with, which I assume is. I'm not really sure. So the only things we can really do here are the question is, do we want to play the Steam Vent tapped or untapped? So we can in one turn mana leak in Logic Knot if we do it untapped, so I think that's fine. So we'll just do it like this. This is really bad though. But we're just going to have to play our Snapcaster as soon as we possibly can. What we want to do is empty our hand. So they're going to Inventor's Fair. Not sure why they're not using Contagion Clasp right now. Oh, and a Young Pyromancer would help win the game as well. If we can get Young Pyromancer, we're in good shape. So all we know right now is their deck's all about generating a lot of mana. It might just be an Emrakul deck. You know, they have a bunch of mana, they get Emrakul, and they win the game. That might just be it. That would suck a lot, but that is a possibility. Another Cornucopia. We are not going to counter that. We are going to Snap Bolt. And we're going to try and kill our opponent as soon as we possibly can. This is really bad though, because they're about to Contagion Clasp on their end step. get a lot of mana available to them. Okay, Tarn is nice. And I'm only going to be dealing 1 damage a turn to our opponent. Inventor Sphere is probably going to fetch them something really strong as well. I'm not sure what it could be. What did they get with my Ancient Stirrings? This is bad. This is really bad, though. So Contagion Clasp. Yep, Proliferate. This is really bad. Whatever our opponent's trying to do, it's going to be really good. Probably just want to start yielding to Inventor's Fair there. So Blood Moon's really bad. Thank God we decided that out. That was really lucky. That was just 3 dead cards that were just bad. Like, it only turns off Inventor's Fair. Our opponent should really just be Contagion Clasping right now, shouldn't they? Yep, Cornucopia. All you have is mana, so you're gonna get something with Inventor's Fair. We just don't know what yet. So what does Inventor's Fair get? Because just mana doesn't do anything. We really wanna, maybe we just try and Bedlam Reveler, like ASAP. But then we want to have a counterspell open for our opponent, so I don't want a Bedlam Reveler. We'll just see what we get with Electrolyze. A Bolt, that's very good. Bolt you. Whoop. Electrolyze you. You're not dead. Okay. Good game. So we now have 15 treasure chests. So let's go ahead and look at the full list. So this is the full list. I might just bring in Anger of the Gods. Probably just get rid of like an Echoing Truth for an Anger. I'm just gonna do that now because Anger of the Gods is something I'm missing out on, I think. Oh, cards. Yeah, this is a really strong deck. It's a lot of fun as well. Flash Freeze I like. Echoing Truth is okay. I don't like it too much. Spell Pierce I don't like. So we'll just get in our Anger. So all in all, this deck is pretty strong. I can share the deck list in the YouTube description. Just go ahead and check the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be trying to do some leagues in the near future. There won't be like a long hiatus, hopefully. I might just do a Kiki league. Probably be up by tomorrow.